still got it. Hi, I'm Mike Lund, and this is the Norse Code. We're talking Portland State Vikings athletics today once again, and we're going to talk a lot of men's basketball. As you can see right now, some of the guys are warming up behind us. They're playing in the Big Sky Conference tournament this week, and always a very exciting time when the NCAA basketball tournament comes around. We start with women's basketball today. The Viking women capped off their season with a win at home last Saturday night, beating Southern Utah 80-65. Lauren Holt scored a career-high 25 points, shooting 75% from the field. She made 4 of 5 three-pointers in the game. Michaela Rivard finished her career with 21 points on senior night. In softball, the Viking softball team will have one more tournament this weekend when they travel to the University of Nevada Wolfpack Classic. The Vikings open at home on Saturday, March 21st with a doubleheader at Hillsboro at the Gordon Faber Sports Complex. In men's tennis last week, the Vikings split a pair of matches. They dominated Colorado College 6-1 and then lost a close one at Northern Colorado 4-3. The Viking men are currently 5-5 on the season. They've won 3 of their last 4 matches, and they continue their difficult road trip this week at Idaho State and Weber State. The women's tennis team picked up 2 wins last weekend. They defeated Colorado College as well as Northern Colorado, coming from 3-0 down to defeat the Bears. So a big conference win for the Viking women. They look ahead as well this week with a key match at North Dakota. You can follow all the tennis news at govikes.com. In men's basketball, the Vikings secured their spot in the Big Sky Conference tournament with an 86-73 victory at Southern Utah last Saturday night. Senior Chebe Bamba had 21 points and 15 rebounds, both career highs for the Vikings. Senior guards Deshaun Wiggins and Gary Winston combined for 41 points. The Vikings now turn their attention to the Big Sky Conference tournament this week. Portland State plays Sacramento State on Thursday. That's a 12:30 p.m. Pacific time tip-off. The game is in Missoula. You can get all the live video, audio, and statistics. Go to govikes.com and click on the game day link. And in a moment, we'll talk with head coach Tyler Geving. Okay, we're starting off today with senior guard Gary Winston. Been in the program for 4 years. He's got 1,000 career points, had quite a career at Portland State. We're going to talk to him a little bit about the Vikings as they head into the Big Sky Conference tournament. First off, Gary, you guys last week had to get a win to make sure you were in the tournament. So talk a little bit about maybe the anxiety you had going into Saturday night's game at Southern Utah and how you guys got through that and got a big win.
Saturday night, all the seniors pretty much came together. Not just the seniors, the whole team. We figured, we don't have much to lose. I mean, we just got to give it our all. And that's what we did. We just huddled around each other, encouraged each other, and played hard and had fun. That was the main thing, just have fun.
All right, Gary had 19 points in that win. And talk a little bit about your career. You're a senior now, and it's kind of close to the end for you, so I'm sure you want to get as many games in as you can, right?
Yeah, it's been a ride, I could say that. I've learned a lot over the last 4 years, and I definitely want to keep playing as long as I can. So we're going to try and come into this weekend and get 3 wins.
Okay. Excuse me, talk a little bit about Sacramento State. Now you're going to play a team that had a great season, won a couple of close games against you guys, and they have some really talented guards that you personally get to play against, Mike McKinney and Dylan Garrity. What are you guys going to have to do to shut them down and get a win in a quarterfinal game?
I think the last 2 times that we've played them, we've had a good game plan defensively. I think maybe our offense has struggled a little bit, so I think as far as the game plan goes, defensively we'll probably do the same thing and just play harder. The last 2 times that we played, they have came out and won, but I think we can play a little bit harder and if not win, just make it even a tougher game.
All right, and now going into the Big Sky Conference tournament, how do you guys feel about your chances to win the tournament? There's 8 teams in there, and it's really pretty close from 1 through 8. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's 0-0 now. Everything that happened in the regular season is over with, and I think that we are, without a doubt, the most talented team in the Big Sky, from the top guy to the bottom guy. So, just as I said, just play hard and show everyone what we're made of.
All right, thanks, Gary, for your time. We appreciate you being here. We wish you luck in the Big Sky Conference Tournament. In just a moment, we'll be back with Tyler Geving. We're here with head basketball coach Tyler Geving. And, Coach, I'm going to start first talking about last week. Now, you go into the final game of the season with some doubts. And doubts all around the Big Sky Conference. Nobody knew where the tournament was going to be. The competition was so close, nobody knew exactly who was in the tournament. So you go into the final game, and how did you and the team feel about that? With a lot of anxiety, a lot of anxious preparation there?
Well, the good thing was kind of going into the weekend, whether it was the NAU game or the Southern Utah game, we controlled our own destiny, which was nice. So, we didn't have to sit and look at the scoreboard and, see who's winning what game and what we need to do. And so it was kind of nice. You just needed to go in and win one game. Obviously, we didn't get done Thursday night, so heading into Saturday, we approached it like any other game. It's get the guys prepared, like we do, scouting report, go through the same routine. And, more than anything, I think our kids were relaxed. I think we were relaxed as coaches. And I think, that kind of helped us going into the game. We'd been there, done it before, got some veteran players. So from that standpoint, I felt like we were pretty comfortable going into the game.
Okay, now the season began a long, long time ago. You started playing games in November. It's a long grind. Talk about how hard it is to get all the way through those several months of play, the ups and the downs, and just to get into the tournament, the grind that you guys go through.
Yeah, in fact, this year, going to the Bahamas, we started, I think it was August 5th, we started with practice. So we've been going at this thing for 7 months, and you're right, there's a lot of ups and downs throughout the season. Not everything's going to go the way you thought it was going to go, the way you had it planned out back in August, obviously with injuries and, especially at the end with Braxton Tucker being out. So, I think that's what makes it hard. I think, in my 10 years, I think over the last 2 years, I think there's more parity in this league from 1 to 12, and any given night, anybody can beat anybody, whether it's home, on the road. And then when you throw in injuries and some adversity here and there, just to kind of get into that top 8 is, kind of a good thing to do, obviously. And at 9-9, that's not awful. I mean, we could have won a few more games. We obviously could have lost a few more games. So to get in, I think all 8 teams feel like they have a chance going into the conference tournament and should make for an exciting weekend.
Okay, it starts Thursday, quarterfinal round game. The Vikings are playing against Sacramento State. It's a 12:30 Pacific time tip-off. So let's talk about Sacramento State. Played them twice already this year. You lost both times. Sacramento State, very strong team. In fact, they have the league most valuable player in Mike McKinney. So how do you prepare now for a team that's beaten you in a couple of close games?
Well, first of all, we got to take care of the basketball. I think if you look at the stat line, the first game at their place, we turned it over 17 times. A few weeks ago here, we turned it over 17 times again, and they scored 20 of their 73 off our turnover. So I think that's kind of a key of what we need to do is take care of the basketball. If we can eliminate 7 or 8 of those turnovers, that's 7 or 8 more possessions that we can get during the game to hopefully score. So I think that's number one. That's the key. Number two, I think we've done a decent job on McKinney. We need to continue to do a decent job on him. He's going to get his 20. That's just the way it is. But we got to make him work for it. So if we can kind of, do those two things a little bit, I think we have a good chance of winning.
Okay, now as we go into tournament time, this is the most exciting time of the year. Obviously, college basketball tournaments around the country, everybody trying to get into the NCAA tournament. You have a lot of seniors on your team. And how are they feeling right now? They're probably a little bit anxious, too. They want this to go on as long as they can.
Yeah, you bet. I think all our kids do, and as coaches, you kind of get down to the wire. And I felt it a little bit on Saturday. I think, the guys kind of looked around like, man, this could be our last game if we don't win this. So I think it brought us closer together as a team, and I think it's going to help our seniors that way, too. I think they're going to, bring some of that leadership this weekend of, hey, I want this thing to go on to next week. We've, some of these guys obviously never played in an NCAA tournament. That's why you play college basketball, and obviously the opportunity to do that. So this is kind of their last chance at it, and I think our seniors are going to step up, give us good leadership, and I think all of them are going to play well.
But now here's the funny thing about the Big Sky Conference. It might have been your last game last week, but by the same token, you probably have as good a chance as anyone to win it this week. There's so much parity in this conference. Everybody is so evenly matched. Talk a little bit about the parity and about the chances you feel your team has this week.
Yeah, I think, you know, all 8 teams have a great chance of winning it. I mean, when's the last time Weber State's been an 8 seed? And, you know, probably over the last 6-7 years, they've either been a 1 or a 2 seed. And, you know, they've had a few injuries, a few ups and downs. So, obviously, Montana's the number 1 seed. I'm sure they're looking at it going, man, that's not an easy game against Weber right off the bat. So, you know, I think Eastern Idaho, those games went right down to the wire. I know Idaho had a big lead on them in the second half at Eastern, just didn't close it out. Sac and us have been close. NAU, Northern Colorado split. So 1 through 8, yeah, it's going to be a dogfight, and I don't think the seeds matter at all, especially on a neutral court. And yeah, it's going to be exciting basketball. And if you told me one of those 8 won it, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, well, Tyler, we thank you for your time. We certainly wish you and the Vikings a lot of luck. We remind you once again, the Big Sky Conference tournament starts on Thursday. It's a 12:30 Pacific time tip-off. Go to GoVikes.com for the live video, audio, and statistics. You can watch the Portland State Vikings taking on the Sacramento State Hornets in a quarterfinal round game. We thank you for watching the Norse Code this week. We'll see you next time.